Okay, so let me build you a scenario, right? You want to get a tattoo. Great, you're off to a great start. But it's your first time. Scary, not so fun. You're nervous, you're going crazy, and you're thinking every tattoo shop in America looks something like this, or this. So you're a little nervous and you don't know which artist to pick out of the many very hundred thousands in your area. So today I'm going to walk you through some red flags that you'll find in certain artists so that you can avoid being unhappy with what you get or something that will take you to the hospital. And I think it's a good topic for a second video. Like, this is like pretty newbie stuff, so I'm like, awesome on the second video. Thank you, Dominic, for staying consistent and being on your shit. But let's get into it. First up, poor social media or a terrible portfolio. Now, I understand it's pretty hard to keep up an Instagram page and a YouTube and all that stuff. Like, trust me, it's not easy. But for the most part, like, you just take pictures of your tattoos and you post them. And it's a good display of your work. You don't have to do the stuff I do, like make reels and all that stuff. But what you should find in a certain artist is at least proof of work. And a lot of people in this game have been here for decades, before the age of the internet. Like, they're old, all right? They don't know how to work Facebook. They don't know how to make a post. They barely know how to make a Google search. So, understandably so, like, their social media might be lacking. But when you go to that tattoo shop, you should be able to find something that says they've done this kind of work and they do it pretty damn good. And that can come in many forms. Fake skins, fake tattoo skins that shows, like, their practice. Or work that they've done on people that's usually held in binders or, like, held around the shop or around their station. Now, this is especially important if you have a very distinct type of tattoo. So there are many different styles. There's watercolor, there's fine line, there's neotrad, there's ultra mega super like detailed realism. And not every artist can do everything. I'll be the first to admit, like, if you ask me to do a fully colored realism snake on your back, I'm not your man. So you want to make sure that they have proof of what they can do, whether that's through the portfolio or through their social media, that they have proof that they can do what you want. And if they don't have exactly what you're looking for, they should be at least upfront saying, hey, I haven't done this style very often, but are you willing to take a chance on me? If they're not honest about it and you don't see it anywhere on their page or they're in their portfolios, then run, because they're trying to make an easy buck out of you. And if you end up not liking what you get, then so be it. You already got tattooed, so time to pay up. Poor sanitation. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've thought about the Salty Spittoon, and that's what I imagined. That's what tattoo shops look like. Like, growing up, I thought it was just biker gangs and people smoking and like people beating on each other while they're getting like ripped apart by a needle, and they have like a mom cupid thingy, whatever. Like, you know the classic type. So if they have poor sanitation and there's cockroaches running around that room and there's like a trash can full of like needles and blood and all that stuff, and like just gunk everywhere. Like, ooh, especially the bathrooms. If you go in that bathroom and it's like disgusting, run out of there. Most tattoo shops should be cleaner than a hospital. So like, if you go in there and you smell something, if you see something on these walls, I'm like, bro, like, maybe it's time to move. Like, this is not the place you want to get like stabbed and have your blood exposed and open skin exposed. And more specifically, like, this is like, even if this is not like what I just described, it still matters. So if a tattoo artist has their gloves on, they're working on you halfway through the session, like, let's take a break, and they pick up their phone and they're like playing on their phone with their gloves on, they're like grabbing bottles off the desk, off the sanitary station, then go back into your skin, you're gonna get something. And they're touching other things that just get cross-contaminated with your skin is a no-go. I heard this one tip on how to avoid certain things like that. Like, someone said, if you come to the tattoo session and everything's already set up, which is not like unheard of, you come to the tattoo session and everything's already set up, the bottles are bagged, your machine is wrapped, but watch if your artist opens their cartridge. Like, make sure they open their cartridge clean in front of you right before you start. If it's already sitting out, that might be an indication that they're reusing needles. I don't know what kind of god-awful person would reuse needles if you've been in this game for at least like a week, like not even a day. The first thing they tell you, like, do not reuse needles. Like, that's disgusting. Like, I can't even imagine. That sounds horrendous. So just something along those lines. Like, just make sure that they're pretty careful of how they're like working around their station. Next one. Next red flag. If they pressure you on a design. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Like I like most artists have a pretty keen eye when it comes to composition and what looks good, and we have our own opinions about what looks good. But again, at the end of the day, this is your body, so defend it as much as you can. If you really want something, then push for it. But if they pressuring you to get a design and they're not willing to listen to your ideas and willing to make changes, then this artist is kind of a scumbag. I'm not gonna lie. He's like, okay, he's not paying attention to what the client wants. And it's not the customer's always right. Most of the time, but most of the time it is. Most of the time it is. This is their body, so they get to decide whatever they want to put on their body. Here's a good one. If you want something upside down on your wrist, and okay, so like for the most part, if you want mom written right here on your wrist, some people ask if they could port it towards them, and ideally in tattoo culture, you want to point it away. So when you show it off, it reads mom to you, but not to yourself. It's upside down to you, but not to other people. And that's just like tattoo rules. But again, this is your body, so you can put it however you like. You could flip it sideways if you wanted to. It's up to you. But we're gonna make suggestions. But if they're not willing to listen and refuse to do it, then imagine more complicated designs and they're changing everything and running you around in circles on a design you don't want. Now, I've also seen where artists do something phenomenal that's completely different than what they asked for. But again, that's up to your discretion. If you believe that this artist can deliver something better, then by all means, go for it. But again, proceed with caution, because some artists might bite the bullet too much, and when you ask for this, they give you this. And you don't want that. Ooh, and here's a good one. Bad attitude. So, I'm a pretty bubbly personality. At least I like to think, and most people tell me so. I'm pretty fun to be around. But a lot of people tell me in their experience with getting tattoos, like, it almost feels like the artist doesn't even want to be there. Now, I don't know what kind of artist doesn't want to work in this industry, because tattooing is so fun, bro. I'm not even like, this is the greatest job, like, to ever grace the good earth. So I don't know what kind of artist is like having a bad attitude while they're working on sessions. I have a lot of fun. But if your artist is in a bad mood, like they're like snappy and like, come on, let's just get this over with, then do you really want that person like stabbing you a million times for several hours? I imagine. Fucking baby. Getting a tattoo for your first time is already pretty nerve-wracking, so they should at least provide a friendly atmosphere so that you could be comfortable and then they can work in a, like not so hostile environment. Now here's some misconceived red flags, stuff that you've probably seen around that kind of makes sense, but in my opinion, I don't think they do. Starting off with something like they don't want to do your design. Now, that's not to say the same as they're pressuring you to get something or they're refusing you service. Like, no, if they don't feel comfortable doing your design, don't take that as a diss or that they're being rude. No, I think probably the best case scenario is if an artist is like, no, I don't think I could do this. I don't want to do your design. They're either saving you from something terrible or they just can't handle it. And I don't think you should see that as like, oh, this artist hates me. No, I think you should see it as, oh, they're being honest. So that's not a red flag in my eyes. That's probably like the most greenest flag I could possibly imagine. That's crimson green. Is crimson green a color? Lime green. It's like this green. It's like this green. Another one is if they don't post your tattoo. Like, I've gotten hundreds of DMs about like, oh, like, can you send me the photos? Like, I thought it'd be on your story. But to tell you the truth, half your photos look like this. Like, I was just not in my bag today on taking those photos. Like I took 4 and all 4 of them were bad. Don't see it so immediately like, oh, like they did a bad job and they're embarrassed about my tattoo. No, like I'm proud of a lot of my tattoos and most of them go on my story. Like they don't get posted, but they get posted on my story for like, because I don't want that on my page. Like for certain designs, for a lot of tattoo artists, a lot of the tattoos that they do, they want to keep it consistent on their page, so they're known for that. So like, for example, if I want to be an anime artist, I'm not going to post every single tattoo I do, only the anime ones, or at least something along the lines of anime, like cartoonish or like whatever the case may be. But a lot of the tattoos might go in the story, they might just not get posted at all, and that's okay. It's just preference. But if you're happy with your tattoo, then what is there to be upset about? This one's more like a meme one. Like I saw something on TikTok that was like, if your tattoo artist is a man, run. And I'm like, "Ugh, bro, okay." Like, there is a very rich little bias in this tattoo industry. Like, okay, I'm not the. I've been like a part of these conversations before, but like women in the industry, like especially beautiful women and beautiful men too, but like mostly beautiful women who tattoo make significantly more progress and more money than male tattoo artists. Having a man get so close to your body and exposing yourself to a man and doing tattoos in a very private place, it's up to you if you want, if like you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if there are tattoo artists and they have reputable work and they do a good job and they have like tattooed women, unless like there are stories about them, obviously like this one you should proceed with precaution. But for the most part, I'm a man and I'm a professional. Like, I don't partake in taking advantage of people. Like, it's just not something I do, and not a lot of tattoo artists do. We have to make money, more first and foremost. I'm so focused on doing the tattoo better than any set of titties or any set of ass that could possibly come in my face. Come in my face. If they're a man, if they're a woman, like, it doesn't matter. Like, come on, let's be. I think that was more of a joke. Like, that was a tee hee ha ha something I saw, and I was like, is that really so? Like, what most people think? Like, people really think like if they're a man, like I won't let them tattoo me? Because I find that offensive. I'm like, come on, I'm a good dude. I could do good work. Like, I really don't care. So I'm like, that one's not a red flag either. I'm like, don't believe all of that.